What's going on, guys? This is Geeking and Drinking, episode 70. We have a good one for you guys, so let's fucking do it.
Okay, let's do this fucking shit.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Eddie,
Steven,
and we are Geeking and Drinking, and we are joined by one of our good friends, Aaron, the Beer Metal Dude.
What's up, everybody?
This has been a long wait, man. We've been trying to get you in the show since, I don't know how long ago, man.
It's been a while because I know we talked about it, and then things just kind of kept happening.
Yeah,
Either on my side, y'all side, or whatever.
and
or
then COVID.
Yeah.
all that good stuff. So
It's good to finally have you here, man.
dude, I'm here.
Stoked. But yeah, guys, I mean, we're, like I said, episode 70. We're just, honestly, we're just going to wing it. We got a couple things we want to maybe hit here and there, but for the most part, man, we're just going to be shooting the shit. We got some great beers, a good selection of beers to be drinking today. So, I'm going to bring out those beers right now. And you want to...
I just barely ate breakfast, dude.
So I'm gonna let Aaron introduce these beers since he's more a little familiar with these here.
Dos Sirenos. See, I've never heard of this brewery before, guys. I don't know why you tell me that. So anyway, everybody, I'm the assistant manager over at Dos Sirenos Brewing Company here in San Antonio, and they bought some beers for us to drink. Looks like the first one we're going to be doing is the Hibiscus Whit beer. It's a Belgian-style wit beer that we brewed by adding some hibiscus to it, and it's a great beer, man. So it's our newest beer that we have on tap. We've done it before a couple times, but newly tapped at the brewery right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Let's crack these bitches open.
We're not going to shotgun it?
Man, dude, people are like, okay, so I recently went to a party with some guys that I work with on, so I stopped at the store. I got myself a variety pack of the Real Ale IPAs, so mm-hmm. they had the what do you fucking call it? Obviously they had the Axis IPA,
like the variety.
Yeah, the variety, and so I get there and they're like, what are you drinking, Eddie? I'm like, oh, it's just some crap, because they're all, they're drinking their liquor, their shots, their mixed drinks. They're drinking their Modelos, their Dos Equis,
their White Claws.
And like, one of the guys drinks the beer, he goes, "Oh, what is this?" Oh, and they're all a lot younger than me too, so they were like, "Damn, you are old." I'm like, "Man, fuck you guys."
Especially with the IPAs, dude, because I mean, they're usually pretty bitter, and if you're not used to that bitterness, like if you're just a White Claw drinker or like a Bud Light drinker or whatever, and you drink your first IPA, that's just it's gonna fucking pound you. You know what I mean? Just bam, and then they're not gonna know what hit them, dude.
Yeah, and
they're definitely not gonna know.
They even said, they're like, yeah, after you left, because I left the rest of them there. I should have fucking brought them, but I left the rest of them there, and they were like, yeah, you left. We tried drinking them again, and they were like, oh, we looked at it. There was like 8%. I gotta drive home. I'm like, all right, guys, cheers.
Cheers.
Good to have you on, man.
Yeah, man. Fun to be here.
Yeah.
So, first thing you can see is the color of this beer, which is kind of a unique pinkish color.
Oh, yeah. And that fucking tastes so. I always like a good wit beer.
So, one thing I like about this Hibiscus Wit is adding the hibiscus gives it that a little bit of a tartness to it. Mm-hmm. So, it's not a sour beer or anything, but like if somebody comes in and they're like, hey, we like sour beers, and, we don't brew sour beers at the brewery. Mm-hmm. And we have this one on tap. I usually point them to this one, and they usually like it, Because, like I said, that little tartness. It's not a true sour or anything like that, but that hibiscus and, the wit just really makes it taste a little bit on the tart side.
Okay, one thing that I want to ask, and it's kind of something I've been kind of, I mean, we brew our own beer before, mm-hmm. but I'm not like, I'm not as educated as I would like to be. Imperials. What makes an Imperial an Imperial? Do you have any insight on that?
I mean, as far as what I know through my beer knowledge and reading and, the stuff that I've learned is, I think it's just with the ABV. Pretty much it's just the higher ABV that makes it an Imperial. Okay. Like once it reaches a certain point, you can call it a double or an Imperial.
Yeah.
And, just like that, you'll get those real beer geeks out there that'll be like, well, it's a double IPA, and others will say it's an Imperial IPA, and I'm like, Actually, it's both.
Yeah, because
it's really no difference.
Yeah, because I think I recently went to Big Hops and I ordered. I forgot from where I ordered an IPA. And I saw it up there and it said it said double IPA. And I was like, okay, so then I ordered it and I was like, can I get that double? He goes, oh, the Imperial. I'm like, what is? I mean, what's the difference? You know, I don't know. You know, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, that one. I mean, that's the one I wanted.
It's the same thing, dude. There's certain words in the beer vocabulary that pretty much mean the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like. For instance, that the double Imperial, Saison, Farmhouse, some.
Yeah, exactly.
It's but it's up to the brewery, I guess. If they want to call it an Imperial, they'll put it on the name of the beer. If they want to call it a double, they'll just put it on the name of the beer.
Mm-hmm.
And like even on Untapped, when you look at like the categories, it says Imperial / double.
Oh, okay.
And then Saison, it says Saison / Farmhouse.
Yeah,
because they're the same shit,
Yeah.
And there are some people out there that'll beg to differ, and they'll be like, "No, there's a difference," and it's like, "No, there's not."
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even a big fight between stouts and porters out there. They are two different styles, but if you really read about it, dude, the difference is like a hairline.
Yeah.
So some people can't tell the difference between a porter and a stout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way,
it's just weird.
I don't like them. I'm not a big porter or stout guy. I mean, I mean, granted, like when we first started the show, whatever. I mean, I don't know how he feels now, but I know he was a big stout dude.
Mm-hmm.
He liked the
Still am.
Dude, he called you a stout.
a stout slut. Yeah. So, okay. Well, speaking of,
when we first started out, when we had our other brother on the show. They were more IPA guys. I wasn't, I was more amber, Bock, lager.
Yep.
And then when the seasons came, Oktoberfest, stouts, porters, things like that. So
now let me ask you guys a question. So since y'all been doing the show, have you noticed your palate has changed? Have you noticed you've gotten into more styles?
I would like to think yes. But also
I'm gonna say him no, not yet. He's not fully there. Me definitely yes, because we have been featuring a lot more IPAs on the show. So
you're starting to learn to appreciate them a little more, huh?
Yeah. Like even to the point where like when we brewed our own beer, it wasn't an IPA, but it was a blonde, and I guess you might want to call it an imperial blonde because it was a higher alcohol. A higher ABV. I think it was like 6, almost close to 7 for a blonde. That's pretty high, you know.
Pretty good.
And it was cloudy. It was citrusy. And like it kind of had the like the notes and everything of a pale ale or an IPA, but it was a blonde, and it was delicious. I mean, we brewed it 2 times. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, right now there's a blonde ale from Wild Acre Brewing Company. I believe they're out of, forgive me, I think, Fort Worth, right? Yeah.
We had them.
And I love that blonde. And then they have an imperial version of it with pineapple. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all did that one?
Yeah,
I did that one recently on an episode.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good.
Yeah,
it's
really
sneaky, though. That one, because it doesn't even taste that strong. It's refreshing. It's good. You have that hint of pineapple, whatever. But I think that shit's like 7 or 7.7.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's high up there, so you're like, shit. Like you start drinking these, I think I bought a 6-pack one time, just chilling at the pool outside, drinking it. After a while, I'm like, ooh, fuck, like I'm like, holy shit, like, this is a blonde, But yeah. I think that might be one of the closest we've gone as far as like from what we brewed to an actual beer that we've drinking. I never thought about it,
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah. So okay, so I mean, what's your favorite type of beer to drink?
Oh, you would ask me that. I don't know, man. Ask me this question again tomorrow, and I might give you a different answer. But I'm all over the place, dude. I really am. But I really, really enjoy like just normal style beers. And I don't know. I'm not sure if we'll talk about this a little bit, but there's new craze out there. Breweries,
I've heard a couple of your episodes. Talking about
talk
this.
A lot of shit. But I'm not getting into the pastry stouts or the heavy fruited adjuncted.
Yeah, like Isla, Roadmap are kind of real.
They're into those kind of things. But see, like Roadmap, for instance, they make Craven Cottage, which is a pub ale, and that pub ale is my favorite beer to drink over there.
Yes,
It's an amazing beer. And just like when you come into Dose, you get like the Weizenbach or like the Dunkelweizen or the Karen, the Shores beer.
Yeah.
So right now I can tell you those are my styles. That I'm drinking right now. Give me a good brown.
A little bit on the darker side.
Yep, a little bit. Yep.
Copper looking beer.
Who always enjoy seeing his Instagram posts. He's always talking so much shit about him. Texas beer dude.
Love that guy.
What's his name?
JD.
Yeah, JD. He's always talking shit. He goes, "Fuck your fruity slushy beers."
I'm in that same thing, dude. It just became this new craze out there.
Yeah, and you seen
what I think is if you're gonna be a brewery and you're only gonna do heavy fruited beers or you're only gonna do these hazy IPAs, okay, cool. You got the market because that's what's popular. But brew me a blonde, brew me a brown ale, brew me an American style IPA, brew me a porter, brew me a stout. Your core beers.
Yeah.
And if you can do that and you can nail it, all right, cool. But don't just rely on that style to keep you afloat just because you're cashing in on the cash grab right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to where you go in, that's like all they have on the
menu.
menu.
You're like, we got 20 beers on tap, 19 IPAs, and we have one root beer. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I hear you on that. And I mean, also too, like, I'm not a fan of like this whole like kind of slushy type of crushed ice, all this shit. Like, I mean, I'm just like, what? Like, it doesn't pair right to me. Like, it tastes watered down, and I don't know.
We have a slushy machine now at Dos Sirenos.
Yeah, I saw you. I had the sangria, right?
Yeah, so we tried to do some beer slushies when we first got the machine.
Yeah.
But we've gone to wine slushies now. So they're working better. We got a sangria and a frosé on there. And they sell and they taste great. But I don't think we're gonna do beer slushies anymore. Just until we can really, really figure it out.
And granted, too, I mean, we do live in South Texas and here in San Antonio. It is hot as fuck. So I get it. Like maybe it's a little refreshing. Sangria or frosé, yeah, fine, that's all cool. I don't fuck with the beer slushies.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird for me.
I did go to Black Laboratory the other day and tried their one of their beer slushies because they used they added sour sop into it, and I'm really gotten into that fruit lately. Like, it's just really delicious. So I really wanted to try that slushy, and I enjoyed it. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even had one the other day that I'm not sure if it's the same thing. Maybe not, I don't know, whatever. It kind of tastes like a dreamsicle, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kind of one. And I know one of our favorites from Buffalo Bayou is that dreamsicle ale, and that one's really good.
Dreamsicle blonde ale.
Yeah, theirs is pretty good. We make one too. I think ours is pretty good.
I love y'all's. Y'all's is really
Unfortunately,
good.
we couldn't. Even when we have it, you can't can it because it's on nitro.
Yeah,
But that's what gives that beer of ours, I think, its unique body because it's on nitro.
Yeah,
it's good shit.
So why can't you can it on nitro? I mean, just because the lack
gas.
of carbonation. Okay.
Because I mean, you can put CO2 into the can and everything, but because it's pushed with more nitro, it's just gonna go flat. Like it'll go flat like super fast when you put it in the can. That's why who is it? Guinness.
Guinness.
They had that little widget. In the can because it was like a little nitro ball or whatever the hell it was, and so that would just keep the nitro going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
right. Now, I mean, if we had like a canning line, sure, but because on the crowler machine, that's where it gets different. Because we don't. It's not properly. I mean, it's properly sealed, but not like a professional canning line.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, because obviously Guinness has been around for a long time, but I forgot where it was where we had I think I had the first beer that was nitro. I was like, wait, what? They put nitro instead of CO2? Like, that's interesting. I do know what you mean as far as like it goes flat really fast. Because even on draft, it tastes delicious. But yeah, if you leave it sitting there for a while, it's gonna start tasting that flat.
Yep.
And that was very interesting. But yeah, the dreamsicle that y'all have or y'all had, it was.
It'll
really
come
good.
back soon.
Yeah, definitely really good.
So, obviously, at the beginning of the show, we were saying that we've been trying to get you on the show for a long time.
Correct.
We've mentioned here and there a little bit right now that, on your show, give us a little insight on your show, on the, what you do and what,
Cool.
What's going on.
Yeah, man. All right. So I started the Beer Metal Show podcast late 2017. Well, actually, I started beermetal.net, my website, and I would just do written out reviews for several years. And I would always take the beer name or whatever, and then I'd pair it with a metal song. So I would always, link a YouTube video at the end of each of my written reviews. And, it's just like, man, I have a lot of beer at home just sitting there, and I need to really drink them. And I also do photography for beer, on my Instagram, beer metal photography. Okay, cool.
Check it out.
All right. And then, so I always want to take a picture of every beer I drink. So that's where it becomes,
Same.
And
we should start a photography page.
Dude, exactly. That's what I did. And, but because I want to take the professional photo, it takes so long to drink one fucking beer at my house. Like, for real. Like, I pour it, do its thing, go take the photo of it. As I'm editing the photo in Photoshop and stuff, I'm trying to drink it, and then I'm still wanting to write the tasting notes and the nose and the body and the consistency. So I'm editing photos and I'm opening up a WordPad, writing down my notes, and then by that time this beer is just completely hot. And I look at the time and it's like 2-3 hours later, and I'm still in one beer. And I'm like, well, I guess that's the only beer I'm gonna drink at home now, because. But anyway, point is, I started. I changed from the blog written reviews to a podcast. I started listening to a lot of podcasts, and I'm like, I could do that. I used to be a singer in a metal band. I'm like, I can definitely talk into a microphone for a few hours. So started the Beer Metal Show podcast, and I've been doing it ever since. And it takes me a hell of a long time per episode, so I'm only on episode 47. Yeah,
because that's the last one.
That's the last one you heard. So I'm on episode 70 here, and these guys started way after me.
I think we actually started a little bit like around the same time, 2017. Okay. Yeah, but 2017.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Right? It doesn't even seem like it. When I look at my first episode, I'm like, oh my god, that was so long ago, and I was at another house. And it was a whole nother life I had when that first episode came out.
Are you like us when you go back to your first episode? You're like, ugh.
Oh, dude. So I bought the shittiest equipment on Amazon. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, the shittiest, man. I would not even sell it to you. I will give it to you if you want free equipment because it's horrible. And anyway, so the first few episodes were bad, real bad.
Yeah.
And, I've kind of came into my own recently with this new format that I'm doing, new equipment that I bought, and I like it. What I do is I do play music on my podcast, and it is scary because legally not really supposed to do that, but I do it anyway because I don't give a fuck, and I play mostly underground death metal, black metal, grindcore, all that crap. So in my genre, or not mine, but the genre of music that I promote, these bands are more like, hey, thanks for the support rather than coming after you, So
damn, so you've actually had some bands that kind of like,
oh yeah,
they hear your shit and they're like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm. Or they've like, hey, I checked out your last episode. Here's a link to our Bandcamp, if you can review our album or whatnot. But I haven't started doing like album reviews or nothing. But, anyway, but yeah, it's cool. So it's fun. Now I started actually buying newer beers to try to feature on the Beer Metal Show, and I started a second series podcast called It Came From the Cellar, and that's focusing on all the beers that I've been holding on to for several years. And I mean several. Yeah. Really, a long time, dude. My last episode I did for It Came From the Cellar, I want to say that bottle was from 2014.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think you went. I heard that one. I heard that episode too, and I think you said you held onto that one for like almost 7-8 years.
Yeah, 7-8 years, man, and it's moved a few times. From house to apartment to house to house. Moved bookshelf to fridge, back to bookshelf or whatever.
Oh,
it's like holy
how did it taste?
It was great, man. It was a sour beer with black currants, and it was aged in red wine barrels. Nice. The only problem, being 8 years old, is the beer went flat. Like it was a little bit flat, but the taste was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But,
I can imagine. I mean, Yeah, I mean, we know a little bit about playing music on our show.
So I heard.
But yeah, I mean, I always wanted that because I mean, I've listened to some of the episodes before, and like I know you play the music, and it was always in my mind. I'm like, damn, like. But again, too, I know you like you said you promote a lot of underground artists or whatever, and I'm pretty sure they're more than happy to be like have their music promoted in any sense, whatever.
And plus, I mean, you know what it is like, man. I make no money. I spend money, and I say that at the end of every episode. I spend money, not make money on anything that I do.
Yeah,
I've always just done it for the love of craft beer and the love of metal.
Yeah. Same here with us. We do it for the love of everything that
we
like
make no money.
We make no money.
Monetize us, YouTube. We don't give a fuck.
But if you want to send us, it's cool.
Or you want to send us money?
Yeah, here's my cash app.
No, but yeah, definitely like what Eddie was saying before, like, going back to think, from when you first started to where you are at now, we were in the same boat. I mean, a lot of the stuff we didn't even have anything. I think the first episode, we only had like a 6-pack
at the middle of the table.
In the middle of the table, which is me.
Nothing in the background. Me, my brothers, and we had a camera with the Rode mic on top of the camera, like yelling, hey, fucking. We had no lights. What we were using, I had used those like lights you buy for your bedroom, like the stand up lamps. It just had it pointed at us, like, dude, it's pretty wild, So like I'm, like he mentioned, at this point, doing it for the love of it,
Yeah, man.
Like, we record these episodes. We don't get a lot of views. It's all good. Like we just do it because we have fun with it, People
same thing. I don't get a lot of listens, but the ones that do listen to it have reached out. Recently I went to a couple of, local metal shows, and people have come up to me and be like, dude, your podcast is pretty awesome, dude. Like, I really like the way you tie the beer and the metal together, and it's like, cool, man. Like, I didn't think anyone really listened to it, but thanks. Like, it made me feel good,
Well, it was the same here because I kind of had that experience. So when we moved to our new house and we did this new studio and everything, just down the street there's a Valero, and so I went over there to go get some beers and some stuff, and the guy at the register is like, and I had a mask on because it's still during COVID, and he's like, you're geeking and drinking. I'm like, what?
Isn't that weird, dude?
It's weird. Like,
I was like, what?
Same thing happened to me too. Same dude. Whatever. He goes, you're drinking, right? He goes, I saw your brother. He goes, you're the other guy, right? I'm like, yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, who you been talking to?
You're like, who told you?
Yeah, right.
So,
what the fuck is his name?
I do just the podcast. I don't do a video. So my face is definitely not out there, right?
Yeah.
I was at the
exclusive.
Yeah. All right. So anyway,
it's actually blurred out right now.
Yeah.
Right, no episode.
My whole voice is coming out like when the dark shadow voice. Like,
yeah.
But anyways, I think it was the Judas Priest concert, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden this dude just kind of like yells from a couple rows back or something. I can't remember the exact actual details. Either he walked by or a couple rows behind me, and he's like, "Hey, you're the beer metal dude from the Beer Metal Show podcast," and I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, that means you have to go to the website and look through my pages to see the picture of me, it's like, that was badass. Like, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Like, I mean, yeah, it is weird, but I mean, it's awesome, like, I love when people like, especially because I'm just like, damn, you listen to it? Like, I always tell them, hey, man, thank you.
I don't even listen
to it. I don't even listen to my own show. I fucking hate it when I have to edit the show, man. I'm like, God damn, I sound horrible.
That's the way it was the first time. I was just like, oh, God.
Yeah, but honestly, now, like, whenever we do these episodes, like, even with this one, like, especially, it's mainly just for my own, I don't know, like I'll go and download it on Spotify. I'm at work. I'll listen to it. I'll listen to the full episode. Right. And there'll be times where like when I'm listening, even us, like I'm at work listening to it, and I'm fucking laughing. I'm like, this, like this is fucking funny. Like, and it does kind of annoy me sometimes. I'm like, damn, like I wish people would fucking listen to it, but it's fine. Whatever.
Because sometimes I even think we sound a lot better than like even podcasts that are like well known.
Oh, dude. So when I buy new equipment or whatever, and I test it out, and I'm like, all right, let me go listen to an established podcast real quick to see the difference, right? And I'm like, oh my God, like these guys are popular. Like these guys have followers. These guys tour. Like, what the fuck? Like, they sound like they're literally recording in a shower or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Or
Like,
off their iPhone or something.
Yeah, like one of the podcasts I listen to is like all the Christian Hollows podcasts, it's SEN whatever, and like I mean I love them, they're amazing. I've listened to them for more than 5 years, but just like sometimes their audio, I'm just like it's trash. I'm like, you guys don't hear this? Like it's like I'm out at work listening to them, like I can barely even fucking hear it. My volume's up loud. I'm like it's so damn low. I put on our podcast and we're like, oh, what's going on?
They just peeking the whole time, you know. You're like, damn. See, that's what scares me about mine, because I'm learning as I go, you know, with the equipment and stuff. Mm-hmm. And because I play music, and because I want the voice, and I want the music to be at a certain level, I don't know. Like, when I listen to it back, I'm like, man, am I loud enough? Is it loud enough? Like, does it come out loud, or do you have to turn it up, you know? And
Yeah.
What about you when you heard my show? Did it sound low?
No, it sounded good. Like I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, there's like no echo,
Yeah,
no
no echoes or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
So,
yeah. I think that's probably one thing that gets me the most is when like you listen to something and you're like, hey, what's going on? Like, nah, like I like to hear it crisp, no echo, kind of like nice and kind of confined, you know. So yeah, when I hear a podcast,
You like it nice and tight.
oh hey, but yeah, I do. But yeah, man, I mean, it's pretty wild. I mean, so guys, I mean, come on, support us,
Support these guys. Support me. Support it all.
Let's just do it, man. Come on. I mean, we're having fun, but it's having even more fun. Come on, I'm gonna get another beer.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're gonna be needing one here too. So. But yeah, dude. I mean,
it sounds a little different now for some reason. Hello.
Right there.
Cool. Oh yeah. I don't know if it went down or something, or disconnected or whatever.
No, I think we were all peaking, so I was kind of lowering all of us down.
Oh, okay. Especially when you grab the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that hibiscus that was
Did you like it?
fucking delicious.
I told you, dude.
I finished it already.
I know, man. I'm usually the fastest drinker, and I'm like, man, well, I'm the guest here, so I didn't want to be obnoxious. So I'm like,
nah, bro,
gotta
be obnoxious. Come on.
I gotta be polite.
So actually, before we open up these next ones, I actually want to do one of our, because I know you brought one and I brought another one that we're gonna all share here. So I want to open that one up. So I'll introduce this one.
This has been floating around our podcast for a while.
This is one that's been floating around for us too.
See, because you look at it right, and you're like, nah, next time, dude, next time.
Yeah. So this one is actually a Razzmadazz wine barrel aged raspberry sour ale.
Sweet. Who's that from?
512 Brewing Co.
Nice.
in Austin, Texas. I've actually only been holding on to this one for just a little over a half a year.
Where'd you get it from?
I actually won this at the Cevicetos Christmas party.
Cool.
So
Shout out Dan.
Yeah.
Dan the man.
Dan the man.
Dan the man.
So I mean, and then me, I like sours. I love raspberries. The wine barrel age got my attention too. The bottle even just got my attention as well. So I was really, wanting to try this one.
Nice.
So I figured this would be a good opportunity to go ahead and bring that out. So
oh yeah, let's do it.
Those glasses right there.
Here you go.
Why do you get too small?
Because I think we broke one of these, which sucks.
Oh shit. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I know we kind of talked a little bit before the show about more or less kind of like what you're watching, but I know let's keep on the music train.
Sure.
I know you're diehard music. I want to know what you've been listening to lately.
Oh man, another hard question. Just because I'm all over the place, dude. And I really do mean that. If you go to my website at beermetal.net, every Monday I post up a song of the week. And what I do is there's this website called Metal Encyclopedia, and there's a page where you can look at all the albums that are going to come out, Mm-hmm. So I search from like the previous week, from Monday to Monday, listen to YouTube videos for every full-length album that's listed on there.
Okay.
And then I pick my favorite song. So literally every week I am listening to anywhere from like 50 to 100 new songs, new bands, new albums. So again, every day been listening just to a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of different stuff.
Well, it's oh, look at that.
Cool.
All that stuff flying around.
Nice little color.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
All right.
Cheers.
Sitting on the shelf for half a year. That's
Nice and tart. Nice and sour.
And
It's not as sour as it was kind of expecting, but
I think it's got a good right amount of sourness.
it does, because it doesn't. It's not that sour like kind of like stings the back of your cheeks.
Yeah,
It's a sour. You taste the raspberry very very subtly.
it's definitely not like the like those ghost sours.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah,
I've had some where I feel like my jaw is about to unhinge from my
Yeah, no, yeah, I feel you on that for sure. Where was it? Where we had a damn, was it back on turn? They had that raspberry. I forgot where it was, dude. It's been a while. I mean, that's when we recorded at your house, or your old house. Fuck, I can't even think of it right now. But this is definitely a lot better.
Well, I know Roadmap did a ghost one that had berries in it, so it could have also been a Roadmap.
Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, that's definitely good. I'm gonna finish that right now, but I'm gonna crack open. This is the Hera Double Dry Hopped.
Yep.
IPA.
Yep. Hera Double Dry Hopped IPA. Now on Untapped, it is listed as a New England style hazy, but it's far from there, in my opinion. To me, it's just more like an American style double dry hopped IPA.
Nice. So I mean, on tap, like I mean, is it labeled? I mean, yeah, is it labeled that because I know.
Okay.
You're like, dude, it's an app, bro.
Dude, bro,
You
it's
not
an app,
know?
bro. God.
But yeah, you said like how it's listed as a New England hazy.
Excuse me, bro.
Like, is that label put on there by people who drink the beer?
It depends. I mean, we might have done it, because we have to actually add the beers on Untapped for our brewery, and it's probably the closest to the style of the beer.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Than what it is. So you have to categorize each beer. You have to.
Oh, so it's pretty much like a drop-down menu of like,
right.
What is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I mean, it can get pretty specific on there as far as like the beer styles, but if you're going to create like a whole new style, obviously you can't, you have to put it on one of the drop-down menus.
Yeah, one of those like one of the given categories. Mm-hmm. Dude, this is pretty good. This is actually really good. It's refreshing, especially for like a nice hot fucking day like this today. I could see myself out there drinking some shit like this. That it doesn't, it's refreshing. It's actually is actually really refreshing.
Is it barrel aged too?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of that barrel. So like obviously for those that have listened to my show and you have listened to my show before, I try to think that I have a nice expert opinionated palate when it comes to tasting beer.
I mean, more than us, shit.
It's
we're over here like, it tastes good. It's sour.
Yeah. The aroma.
Yeah, like right away. I mean, I could tell it was barrel aged. I didn't read the label, but I'm picking up like that, almost like if you were to soak the wood, in wine, and then you like chew on it. You know what I mean? That's basically what I'm tasting with this beer, and of course a mixture of raspberries.
Yeah.
It's very bready too,
Yeah, I mean, I know there was a video one time I think you posted on our page where you were at the Portapalooza at Busted Sandal.
Yeah.
And I think you had a black cherry. I think it was like, I forgot what kind of like wood he was burning. Dude, that was so cool. Like he,
smoked
the wood, put the glass over it, pours the beer, shakes it up. That stuff like that, man, like really, really gets me going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's pretty neat.
It's cool. It's awesome. I mean, it's cool. Like the fact that like you could burn some wood, get that smoke, get that aroma in there, and it affects the taste of that fucking beer. How was that beer? I know you got diarrhea that day.
From the beer.
I'm just kidding.
No, actually,
I think you were sick, right?
No, not sick. Like we were.
Way to call him out.
We were hung over, dude. Like super hung over. Like we just had. I mean, it was just all porters, and we were there pretty much all day and drinking all day on almost through the night. And by the time we got home, we were just like.
It was at their Fredericksburg location, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Bus of Santa Fe. Bus of Santa was fucking
Here's a
legit.
little known secret fact that you guys might not know. I used to work for them, and I'm the one that designed their cans.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I'm the one that designed the Porterpalooza logo.
Nice.
And no, I'm just kidding.
And I came up with the name. No.
But no, for real. Like, it's cool to still see them use the Porterpalooza logo, and
Well,
the cans are still out there too as well.
Before I decided I was going to go ahead and use this one, I was going to bring the Portapalooza glass.
This is a little kind of wine looking.
Yeah. It's a cool little goblet or a little you call it. Fuck.
It looks like this, but just without the stout at the
I
bottom.
know, but there's a word I'm thinking about, and I went blank.
Goblet?
I'm just gonna stare into the camera now.
Right, I froze up, man.
Frozen.
We are having some technical difficulties. Aaron's frozen.
So yeah, again, earlier, we were, talking about, how, you guys check out his website that he has the song of the week. I'm definitely gonna check it out now, because like I told you earlier, I'm
a week behind though, so give me some.
I'm here. I'm week behind. I'm definitely interested in checking out, a lot of different music. I mean, like I told you earlier, like right now I'm kind of like on this thrash, kind of high right now. I want to listen to everything and all thrash,
Nothing wrong with that, man. Thrash metal's some good shit. Listen to my last episode. Actually, it's Laws Rocket. They're actually an old 80s heavy metal thrash metal band that is my featured band on episode 47.
I was at work the other day and I was like talking to a friend of mine. Shout out Dougie. And I was like, yeah, like, man, because at work, they're always, they play music or whatever, and it's always like fucking like Bad Bunny or like some fucking just mainstream shit. I'm just like, man, I put my headphones all the time. Well, there was one day where like someone just put on like, they started with Judas Priests.
Nice.
I was like, oh, this is fucking badass. Painkiller coming on. I'm like, oh, hell, that's my shit. And then like fucking like just more music. So I was talking to him, yeah, I'm like, hey, what's up with the music today? He goes, yeah, it's fucking. I was talking to Dougie, and he's all, it's fucking awesome. I was like, bro, I've been on a thrash high lately, like, and I was like, I've been listening to Death Angel. He goes, Death Angel, they're fucking old. I'm like, dude, they had an album came out in like 2019. It's fucking legit. It's good.
Yeah.
He's all, fuck yeah, bro.
See, when you say like, dude, they're fucking old, and you say 2019, I was thinking more like,
no.
Came out in, like,
they're banned from the 80s, but like they had a new album came out in 2019.
Oh, okay.
So like it was a big old jump. That's why I was like, oh, this is like a recent band. I'm like, no, and I went back. I'm like, oh no, they're like an 80s band.
They've been around
like,
for a while.
I'm like, but that like usually like when bands go away for a long time, they make a new album. It's like whatever. But nah, this one was fucking legit.
Dude, listen to like old school Exodus, old school Overkill. Overkill's one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
I fucking love the dude's voice. I love the bass player's sound. And you'll know what I mean when you hear it. There's like a distinctive sound with that bass guitar. Mm-hmm. And then Bobby Blitz's voice is just one of the most unique thrash metal voices out there. So badass.
You know what kind of got me wanting to go into more thrash, and they were kind of more of a recent band. Rest in peace, Riley, Power Trip. You ever listen to Power Trip?
Yeah. I got into a few Power Trip songs.
Yeah. I like them. I'm just like, damn, dude, they're
and they were pretty intense, dude. Like when you saw them live or look at videos of them jamming out, dude. They just loved what they were doing, man.
Yeah, love them, man, love them. But yeah, that was kind of like my gateway into it. And I was like, okay, like I love this. This is awesome. I love the energy. I love the fucking mayhem in it. I want more of this. So like that's why I kind of started getting more into it.
Nice. I heard that they're gonna continue on.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know. Dude, I was bummed. When
it's always weird when like the main band member passes or even just leaves the band. But when he passes, it's even worse because there's no way you could ever get him back. You know? And when you want to continue the band, it's obviously to keep his legacy going. But hey man, sometimes the band's at a point where it's like, dude, we just can't give up.
Well, didn't back in the day, like the singer from Suicide Silence passed away.
I don't know. I don't listen to that
crap. But yeah, I'm not like I don't listen to them on the radio. I heard it passed away, and then like they
one of them, somebody from one of those screamo emo bands died. I don't know who though.
But
like Odorous Urungus, Dave Brocky, from Gwar, and he passed away. Yeah. It's like, all right, how do we continue Gwar with the main fucking monster, the main dude, the voice, the the face of the band. How do you continue that?
Yeah.
And I mean, and they're still going strong. I haven't been to a show with the new.
Yeah, I haven't been
new
to
guy,
with the new guy.
with Blothar, but
I was just glad that I've got to see him with the original lineup.
Oh, yeah, dude, many
a
times.
couple of times.
And the thing is, like, all the guys were all friends, even the new guy, Blothar, dude. He's one of the guys that was always with them from the beginning. Mm-hmm. He was just one of the
background guys,
extra hands, or I want to say he's even played other, obviously played other characters and has something to do with the makeup and the costume. Yeah, so he's always been there, and it's just like, okay, well, you're just gonna fill in Odorous Urungus' shoes, and we're gonna talk shit about him on stage. They killed him, and they do this whole show, dude, about it. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. So, but it's all part of their act,
Yeah, dude, they pushed the button.
But it was cool though that they did the because I always tell my wife, this is the way I want to go when I go. I want to do a Viking ceremony.
Yeah. With the guys from Gore doing it.
Yeah. They'll probably rape you before they do it, though.
It's all right, dude. Already dead.
Yeah, he won't feel a thing, dude.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I guess for me, like, I don't know if it would be thrash or just metal, but, like, like, I used to listen to, like, Terror and Hatebreed.
That's more on the hardcore side, dude. Yeah,
hardcore.
Nothing wrong with that, man. I saw Hatebreed a few times. I mean, they're not one of my favorites because I don't know. When the mainstream picks up on it, dude, I tend to kind of back away because I see the crowd that starts to like a certain thing, and I just want to slap them sometimes.
That's exactly how I am with Turnstile right now.
Okay, yeah.
Turnstile, like, I listened to them, back when they were first starting out. I love them. I was like, damn, they're bringing like this new energy to like this kind of like old school kind of metal music, or whatever, but they're bringing their own little taste to it. And then, they've been going, they had albums, they were amazing. And then they got this new album that's kind of like a little more kind of, a little more mellow, still having their sound to it, but a little more mellow. And everybody's into them. Like, every fucking buddy. I'm just like, man, fuck that. Like,
yeah, I got people at work that listen to them, and they went to the show recently when they played at Stubbs, and they said it was beyond packed in there for that show.
And I again, like you, I'm just like, none of these fucking people listen to them prior to that. They just listen to them because it's a fucking popular thing. I guarantee you, when their next album comes out, they're not gonna fucking care. They're just into it because that's what the thing is now. It's
okay, but I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. I'm going to backtrack to what you said a little earlier when you said you got introduced to Death Angel with their 2019 album, but then you went back. Oh shit!
Am I part of the problem?
You're part of the problem.
Oh
dude.
my god!
But see, but you do it in a different way. What you didn't jump in and be more obnoxious and annoying about it like some of these new fans of bands. You just basically said, "Man, I just heard their new album. And now I like all their old albums." Nothing wrong with that. But what's happening is like Metallica and Stranger Things, Kate Bush and Stranger Things, and like things that are happening in pop culture, everyone's jumping in on it. And it's like the old guard, like myself, 45 years old. I was around when the Kate Bush song first came out, and I remember that music back in the 80s, and you try to introduce it to the younger generations, and they're like, "No, that sucks, man. That's like grandpa music." And now all of a sudden, it's on a popular show, and that same kid that bitched that it's grandpa music is now like, "Can you buy me the Kate Bush album, please?" And it's like, no, because you said it was grandpa music, you little bitch. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and I even told Steven, I was all like, because we're with the Stranger Things, and we'll get to it. We're gonna talk about the last
last two
episodes of the last season. So spoilers, if you guys haven't seen it, what are you doing? But just a little jump the gun a little bit. That scene where Eddie plays a Metallica song, which it was badass. I'm just like, why Metallica though? Like, why couldn't they play like some Iron, some fucking what was I thinking about the other day?
Iron Maiden.
No, not Iron Maiden. Fucking I can't even fucking think about it right now.
Well, it would have to be an 80s band.
Yeah,
because remember it was set in the 80s.
It's blanking on me right
now.
So
their timeline is 86.
Right.
Yeah, so they're 86. So it can't be anything past 86, and Correct. It's got to be anything either in 86 or
Megadeth.
Before.
Let's see, 86 mashup, but that would have probably have been Rust in Peace, maybe, or So Far So Good So What. They're not as popular, man.
I don't know. I just feel like them doing Metallica was a cop out.
They're definitely not as popular as Metallica. I mean, they are, but not. I mean, okay, let's here's Metallica, here's Megadeth. I mean, you can't even see me moving down because they're like right there, but everybody knows Metallica.
That's kind of like my problem was. I was just like, really, they're gonna pick Metallica? Like, I guess like I guess maybe I put myself in that perspective of like being alive in the '80s. Like, okay, maybe that was popular back then. Maybe that's kind of like that was kind of considered maybe underground.
Well, I mean, they could have done a little Van Halen. If you could have ripped up some Van Halen track, or something.
It's just like. I just kind of thought it was a cop out. I mean,
Sabbath
it was fucking cool. I liked seeing them jam. I love fucking Dustin. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm just like, that was fucking cool. But I'm just like, now everybody's all fucking about Metallica and shit. I'm just like,
no, everyone's all about Eddie Munson right now.
Yeah, he's about Eddie Munson.
Oh yeah, he knows how.
They could watch that scene on mute for all they care.
Yeah,
because I mean, if you live in San Antonio, Metallica's fucking everywhere.
Oh yeah, dude.
Fucking, everywhere. You listen to the only rock station we have on radio, FM, and I guarantee you put it on right now, it's going to be a fucking Metallica song.
I guarantee you I know which one it is, too.
Which one it is?
Aha, I see what you did there.
So, yeah, dude. But yeah, that was so that was one thing I wanted to ask you about, which I had messaged, just like, you being a metal dude, even if it's like a popular band, too,
sure.
Like, what do you think would have gone really good in that scene as well?
Ooh, that's a good one, dude. Good question. Like I said, man, I do like the Megadeth. That would have been kind of cool. Maybe they could have done something a little more. I think they wanted it to be a darker song, so maybe they could have done a little Black Sabbath. They could have done something fun. See, maybe it would have been like early Anthrax, if that was.
That'd be cool.
But I think 86. I don't know. Let's see. I'm always horrible with years and albums, but let's do this.
I gotta go use the restroom, so I'm gonna dip out.
He's gotta go pee pee. That means I gotta move my fat ass. So hold on.
No, you're good.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
Yeah. A little bit quiet now. It's okay. Stick around. Don't worry about it.
How many what? I thought y'all just pee here on the floor.
We have our catheters on.
Are we waiting?
Yeah, no, we're going. Me and you are still going.
We're still going?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so if it wasn't Master of Puppets, here's a couple of some good ones that could have gone in its place, okay? Could have chosen anything from Rain and Blood from Slayer.
That's what I was thinking.
Which would have been badass. So it is Peace Sells and Who's Buying from Megadeth. So the song Peace Sells. Oh, there's a lot of bass on that. More bass guitar. But anyway, could have chosen a song from that. Somewhere in Time from Iron Maiden. Definitely a lot of guitar licks on that. Even the song, Wasted Years. Hell yeah, dude. Like, that would have been really good. My favorite song, Stranger in a Strange Land, which would have been good from that. Let's see, King Diamond. I mean, Fatal Portrait was out. Pleasure to Kill by Creator. Fuck, let's see.
See, my two that I was going straight to was either Iron Maiden or Slayer.
Sure. Yeah.
One of them you've already named. The other one I was thinking of was like even like the Number of the Beast.
Yeah. They could have gone something early from Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even something like from Judas Priest. Turbo was out. I know it was a little more synth album on that one, but there's some good licks on that song. The Ultimate Sin from Ozzy Osbourne came out in '86, so pretty much anything from Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, Ultimate Sin, that would have been good. Some Ozzy, considering they fucking used bats in that scene.
Yeah, it did. That would have been pretty cool. Didn't think
very,
about that.
very known for biting the head off a bat. So that would have been kind of cool to have Ozzy.
Especially with that reference he made. He was all like, Ozzy.
Yeah.
He's a real Ozzy about it. Yeah, that was cool. Sorry.
Damn, dude, everybody getting kind of drunk.
I apologize, guys. That was my fault. I have to pee.
Did you wipe?
Shit. It's even I gotta get back up now.
No, but what I was saying to you while you were gone, man, like, Slayer, Rain and Blood was out in 86.
Oh, that would have been sick.
So Megadeth, it was Peace Sells, but Who's Buying was out at that time. Somewhere in Time from Iron Maiden. Talked about Ozzy. The Ultimate Sin was out, so you could have chose anything from the first 3 albums instead of Master of Puppets during that scene. Mm-hmm. And like we were saying, which would have been cool because of the bats.
Yeah, he made the reference,
Right, exactly. And, maybe Dustin could have yelled, like, bite the head.
Yeah.
While he's jamming it like an Ozzy song or something,
Granted, like, okay, that scene, okay, it was cool. It was cool. It's just, like, again, like, I don't know, like, I love Metallica. Metallica's cool, but it's just, like, I'm just, like, really? Like, okay, whatever.
So I didn't watch it when it first came out, the whole season, and
neither we.
Facebook ruins it for everybody, because of people don't know how to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I had overheard that it's a metal scene, or this whole season is very heavy metal. So I'm like, cool. So I went into it with the higher expectation than what I really got.
Yeah.
I did not get a whole lot of heavy metal like everyone made it seem, You got one character, you got some nerdy-ass people playing Dungeons & Dragons, and then you got the end scene. And it's like, okay, cool. Where was all the metal that y'all guys promised me? Like, one scene is what y'all consider all metal?
Right. Don't tell me it was that Journey remix. Now, granted, I love Journey, but, I mean, come on. What are we doing?
I know who doesn't love Journey. My friend Kevin Hobbins.
No,
I'm just gonna shout out to him on that because I want him to watch this. Cause I give him so much shit about Journey. It's so much fun. But anyway, yeah, dude. I mean, any other song, and if you really want to go underground, dude. I mean, they could have played some fucking Norwegian, European, early death metal, black metal that was out in '86. Hellhammer or whatever, and all these other bands that were out. It could have gone really underground, but. That's a whole other series.
And the thing is, like, I'm just like, okay, let me put myself in Eddie Munson's shoes. What was he possibly listening to back then? It was probably Metallica.
Yeah, he's right.
And I was thinking with the way his hair kind of was a little, floaty or whatever. I was thinking, he's got to be a Van Halen guy for sure.
Oh, right? For sure.
And that's what I'm saying, being a guitar person. But of course, we can say that all day long, but legally they probably couldn't get the rights to it, and I'm sure they fought really hard to get Metallica. And when Metallica said yes, you're not gonna miss the opportunity to play a Metallica song if they give you consent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking
especially
Lars.
Metallica, yeah.
Fucking Lars.
Yeah. But you know what I like, dude, is that actor. There's videos of him actually playing the riffs.
I think his name is Joseph Quinn.
Yeah, that's actually him. Or either that's really him. Obviously probably recorded studio, but he's playing the licks, or his hand movement on the guitar is actually correct, except for the part that's the guitar lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I also...
That part, I did hear that he did play the riffs, but he even said himself that in the solo part, it was somebody else playing it.
Yeah, and the rumor that I heard, and I don't know, I just read it on a couple websites and plus comments galore on Facebook, was that it was actually Robert Trujillo's son. Robert Trujillo is the bass player from Metallica. I heard it was his son that played that part, but I don't know 100% on that. But
that would have been cool.
So two things. Also, like he said, Robert is the bassist,
yes.
the guy with the Mexican dude or whatever.
Yeah.
He was wearing the Hellfire shirt recently at one of their shows, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But also too, I also liked when Eddie was playing the riff, it didn't sound like perfect.
Right, right, exactly.
It sounded like he was actually, it just sounded like a kid playing it,
Yes,
I thought that was fucking, okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that it didn't sound, perfect.
Right.
So that I thought that added a little more to it.
You know what's funny, dude, is like the metal scene, and just like every scene, there's your really diehards, there's your fucking total geeking out people that love metal so much that they pinpoint everything. And there's actually bitching on social media about that. Like, well, how come he's not playing it perfect?
Oh, fuck off.
And it's like, really, dude? Like that's what you noticed? Like, and I like the fact that you liked the fact that it wasn't perfect,
He was a garage band, bro.
Right.
He was a garage band.
Yeah.
And about that too, he was, he was doing his distraction. He was probably scared.
His band?
I
forgot.
You got the name? I mean, they had that bass player that looked like he was like 40 years old. And he was in high school.
Yeah. So jumping off of that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you finished it. What'd you think about it? What'd you think about the whole finale? What'd you think about Stranger Things this whole season in general? Let's kind of go away from previous seasons. Let's stick with the fourth season in general.
Good, because I can't remember the others.
Yeah, I didn't watch third season, so Yeah.
All right, so I like the way the show is going. I like what it's about. I like that it's a time period, and it's a time period that I grew up in. Mm-hmm. It's an 80s show shot nowadays. And
it did it right.
I think they did it right, dude. The references are there. And what's funny is, again, the bitching I see on social media is like, oh, man, if you're just into nostalgia and references, then you're going to understand the show. If not, it's just a piece of crap. And it's like, dude, it's not referencing anything. It's in that period of time.
It's being what it is.
Yeah, it's 80s. It's 80s for being 80s. The clothing, the malls, the music.
Not only that, but like even I don't know if you catch it. A lot of times the scores, like the music, reminiscent of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Correct.
Like the ding, that little kind of. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking
about. I caught that. I'm like, damn, that's fucking
yeah.
cool.
Even the score, very 80s.
And we even got Big Papa, Freddy Krueger, in the show, which was awesome.
Corroded Coffin.
I knew it was coughing something. I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, dude, I think it's a wonderfully shot show. There is a lot going on at once.
Yeah.
This season, you're following 5 stories, and they all tie together. Basically, you're following, 11 and the kids, and then all of a sudden you're with 11 in the back to the doctor thing.
Yeah.
Then you're with fucking Team Argyle. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, then, my guy.
Yeah, my dude. What's up,
my
dude? So you're following Argyle and them. Then inside that, then you got another side story between Mike and Will. And then you got the story between Argyle and Will's older brother fighting back and forth. So there's like multiple story layers within each story. It's like literally you're like following like different roads.
And in any other movie or show that may seem overwhelming, but yeah, in this show, the way that they took their time and made these episodes an hour long,
right.
Which some people complain about, and they're like, no, I'm glad they made it an hour long because it took the time and it kind of fleshed it out. Like you had like these, especially like the one scene with Jonathan and his brother Will, where he's like in a sense, like, I know what's going on with you.
He knows what's going on.
I know what's going on with you.
See that.
And it's okay. And like, I love that. That was fucking awesome. And I know we might get to it, we might not. But that's one thing that I think Obi-Wan was missing out on, is that like you get these 30-minute episodes, 40-minute episodes, and you're rushing this and that, and it didn't hit.
You missed a few side stories.
A lot of it. But with Stranger Things, it really hit those points, and it really kind of fleshed them out to the point where like, damn, like it hit harder. So
yeah, I mean, like what else? 2 civilians flying into Russia and freeing somebody from a Russian camp. I mean, sure, yeah, that happens every day in the 80s,
and that was awesome too. I mean, seeing Joyce and Murray, this and that, and like they're on an adventure together to save Hopper. And I'm glad that they didn't like make any like love connection between them, because like that's not what was going on. They're just kind of going to save.
I mean, they made out.
Well, no, I'm talking about with Murray and Joyce.
Oh.
But I also too like I love Murray. His whole karate thing, that was fucking cool.
That was hilarious.
That was funny. But
he's like, I'm a black belt. Or no, she's like, well, aren't you a black belt? Well, yeah, but the kids were like 13.
That shit was funny, dude. Like, it was hilarious. And even that too, like the whole storyline with like there was that one like a really badass transition where you have I think it was Eddie, Robin, I forgot the sister's name.
Erica.
No.
Nancy.
Nancy?
Wait.
Yeah, Nancy and
Mike's sister?
Yeah,
Nancy.
Nancy, and you have fucking Harrington. Babysitter Steve. You have Steve.
Bro, come on.
Where they're riding the bikes in the upside down, and then you transition to where like it's the younger kids riding the bikes in the real world. You know, they're all on a mission.
Yeah, when they're going to the house, or when they tell her like, you have to have bikes here, right?
Yeah, okay. That was a badass transition. I'm like, damn, that's fucking cool.
Because weren't they driving or riding their bikes to the trailer park on both scenes or whatever, something like that?
Yeah, I was like, that was fucking badass. Like, that's fucking cool.
I think what I really like, dude, is the whole, and you know, again, maybe they introduced it back in some of the previous seasons, but I was blown away at the whole Henry 1 Vecna story.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And who he was and what he is to 11, what he is to the world, you know? And that was so badass.
That was like 2 reviews in one, you know? Dude. And not only that, like, that this dude that was with 11 in the hospital was 1, but also 2, that he is also the kid from the you know, from fucking Freddy's kid, you know? Like, that was like, damn,
that's true. Yeah,
cool.
He's Freddy's kid, or not Freddy, but Freddy Krueger. I forget his name in the movie or the show, but
in the show.
Yeah, so he's the kid. He's 1, and then he's
Vecna.
He's Vecna, and then it turns out he's that fucking orderly, you know, as an older guy. And I knew it, dude, when he tells her like, oh, I used to know a kid that played this Blanco game, and I was thinking like, yeah, that's you, buddy. Like, just reveal it. It's you.
Even Lemon's like, she's like, you knew 1. He goes, yeah, I knew. I'm like, oh, he's fucking 1. He's fucking 1. Totally. So I thought that was the review, and then even a step further to review, like, oh no, he was also the kid too. Like,
and he was also the one that killed everybody when she thought it was her the whole time.
Yeah, and I think our last
Sorry,
episode,
that's a big spoiler alert.
No. Our last episode, we even geeked out so hard about that because our friend Ernest was all like, yeah, because that's when Papa was all like, what did you do? And not saying that, what did you do as far as these kids are dead? No, what did you do where did you send him?
What did you do to 1?
Yeah.
Because all you saw from the original was, well, what'd you do? And then it's the blood and whatever, so you're thinking, shit, 11's a fucking psychopath. But it turns out, exactly, like, well, what'd you do to Henry? Well, I just put him through that vagina on the wall.
Yeah, dude, that is fucking wild. Like, that is some good fucking writing right there.
I think so too.
Yeah, Steven, what'd you think?
I liked it.
Okay, anyway, moving on. Now, I do have some unanswered questions though, because
it was good.
Anybody that knows me, I hate unanswered questions at the end of a show or at a movie, and I'm like, how can you roll credits when I don't know what happened to so and so and so and so and so and so? I want to know what happened to the Russians when they went back to America. They don't talk about that. You just see Hopper and Joyce back with the kids. You have no idea what happened to the pilot and the other the Russian.
The guy from Game of Thrones.
And I kind of want a story. I kind of liked that Russian prisoner dude. You know,
he
got along with Hopper after a while, and
dude,
the chemistry between them was pretty legit. You know, and it's like,
fucking awesome.
Okay, so what's gonna happen with these 2 characters? Do we get them in next season, or are we just like, hey, cool, they're just gone and forgotten now? You know?
Yeah.
I kind of have some questions about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. I was just like, oh, so what about the other 2 guys? I mean, they had a pretty good character arc. You know, he went from being a smuggler to being a prisoner to being like a friend, and he was good. I mean, I don't know if you ever seen Game of Thrones. No. But he's probably one of the coolest characters in Game of Thrones or whatever. Nice. You know, the other pilot, I forgot his fucking name, but yeah, I mean, he even had a little character arc of being a scumbag to like actually, you know, kind of like helping him out.
Well, yeah, when they called him out, like, dude, weren't you a badass soldier once? Show me that soldier again.
Yeah.
And he had his like breakthrough moment. And
so when we get the scene where like Hopper and Joyce kind of just show up and they kind of reunite, which was sweet, whatever, right. You know, but just like, well, what happened?
Yeah,
how did we get here?
Where'd you put the Russians? You know, I kind of want to know what happened to these guys.
Yeah,
you know, and then is Papa really dead?
I think he is.
Yeah,
I think that was.
You don't think he's gonna have one of those moments where you just see the hand come up like?
Now at this point, I think he is, but also too, I mean, one of the big storylines in this season was Max, and you know her, Vecna being after her. And I
have some theories.
That brutal scene where she gets her fucking arm and she's almost taken out.
She's like halfway.
Almost like that was
crooked,
dude. When that shit was happening, I'm like, oh no, like no, like shit, like. And then and then you get Lucas, the actor who played Lucas, tremendous acting.
Yeah, he did
him screaming for help. dude, brought me to fucking tears. Like
Well,
that shit. Like, oh,
It's all because of fucking dickhead jock boy that almost ruined everything.
dude gets his fucking body split.
And you know what's funny, dude, is as much as they reference that in the show, that's how it was, man. There really was, and I don't know about school nowadays because obviously in 4 years it'll be my 30-year reunion, but I don't know what it's like nowadays with kids because I don't have any. But you know, back then that's how it was, man. You had your metalheads, you had your nerds, you had your jocks, and they all did not get along. You know, there was definitely cliques in the lunchroom was definitely like that in the scene of the movie.
That's probably one thing that pisses me off the most is like how this kid's like, oh, it's the devil, it's the devil, it's the devil, and it's like, oh, dude, like, come on.
That's how we
was and speaking of
metalheads as youngsters, we got in high school
labeled as.
And speaking of like things that weren't really explained, what the fuck was this kid doing living in some trash hole? Or, where they're having the fucking party. Never mentioned where his parents are at.
Oh, they never mentioned the parents.
Oh, no.
On most of these shows, if you really look at it, when it's about teenagers, you never fucking see the parents. And you're like, where are the parents?
But I mean, they do show like the main character's parents
right.
and stuff like that. But, some of these other ones, and then the way he's over here, like, it's the devil making him do it. Follow me. And it's like, fucking adults are following this fucking teenage kid. Like, fuck you, dude.
That shit, like, that's probably one thing that pissed me off the most. And just like, dude, like, these fucking people are so brainwashed. Like,
the cops were kind of like, all right, kid, you need to shut up. But they also didn't do anything.
Yeah, they didn't do nothing.
Especially at the town hall meeting, it's like they just kind of let him brainwash the crowd, I thought that one guy was about to walk out, and then he's like, well, what are y'all waiting for? Let's go take care of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit.
Yeah, dude. And then, like, the fucking parents were, like, kind of like, well, where are our kids at? Even that, too, like...
Well, I don't think they really wanted to be known as the parents. That's why they didn't say anything. Because then they would have been lynched at the fucking town hall meeting.
Probably. Yeah, probably. But even that, too, like, we didn't really get much closure with that, too. Like, True. I mean, the parent, Well,
I mean, you couldn't. The town went fucking underground.
Yeah.
At the end of the show. And that's another thing. What happened to the two jocks that were chasing after Lucas's sister?
Yeah.
You never see what happened to them.
Because they had her, right? And then she got carried away, and that was it.
And that was it.
Well, she punched the shit out of one of them.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't see them
and then that
die.
Was it.
You don't see them run away. Yeah. And you don't see them in the gym at the end of the show.
Dude, that was rough, though, seeing fucking Lucas being pummeled to shit by that fucking dude. And it was satisfying seeing him fucking get the upper hand and start fucking beating the shit out of him.
I really wish he had a more dramatic death. I do like the fact that he got kind of cut in half, but... It just happened so quick. And it's like, no, dude.
It happened so quick and no one saw it.
And I wish
a lot of people were like, what? That happened?
Right. I mean, I wish it wouldn't have gone across the torso. It should have gone and crotched the head, which would have been even better.
And they should have had it even more like gory. Like,
exactly.
Like, it would have been, that would been so satisfying.
One thing I will bring up, and I know you said you don't really remember too much from other seasons.
Right.
But the only one thing I'll bring up from past seasons is like, in season 2, they bring up her sister.
Whose sister?
11's sister. 8, remember? 8, the one that had those powers to make you think that you're seeing things that weren't really there. And then after that, you never heard anything after that.
I mean, granted, that was probably one of the worst episodes ever.
2 worse.
But even too, like, I mean, didn't we find out in this season that like she actually had a mom and
she had the mom, but like they never mentioned anything about that because the way they made it seem was like this facility had special kids that had supposedly different powers because her power was different from 11's. Her power was that she made you see things that weren't really there, weren't really happening, where 11's was telekinesis and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But then you go into season 4, and all the kids have the same power. They're all telekinetic.
They all have pretty much 11's power.
And then they don't mention anything else after that. So that was kind of one of the big things.
And then they all die.
Well, I think they kind of explained that in a way that they took all of one's powers to kind of inject it into the other kids. Isn't that what they were doing? Isn't that kind of how it happened?
I don't know. Like, I mean,
because remember the reason that whole place started. It started with one.
Yeah.
And they were trying to drain him up, not drain him completely, but take away like that DNA of the powers to create more people with powers.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of was maybe not explained 100%, but it's like every season you see the kids with more abilities is basically because they're getting those tests and all other good shit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, let's wrap it up a little bit because there's something I really want to get into. But I mean, overall, what'd you think of Stranger Things season 4?
I loved it, dude. I thought it was great. I loved it. I loved all the elements. I loved all the characters. Good to see old characters. All the kids are growing up, and it's crazy. They look all different, you know.
Yeah.
I like the love stories. I love the assholeness of some of them. I love the comedic things of others.
It was real authentic.
Yeah, very authentic, dude, for real. And they're all badasses, dude, in their own way, you know.
Yeah.
Will just needs to lose that fucking penis head haircut.
Yes,
Like,
let's
for
get rid
real,
of it.
dude.
Let's get rid of it.
That's the one.
What are we doing? Let's
that's
get
one
rid of
thing
it.
Everyone was talking about.
Jesus Christ, dude.
That haircut needs to go.
Yeah,
fucking haircut.
if you cartoon the scene, it's just gonna look like a big dick. Like, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
No wonder Mike don't like him.
So I'll jump off of that. Yes, this finale was amazing. It was really good. I had a point I was gonna fucking make. But yeah, it was good. You know, I'm more than satisfied about it. What'd you think about it?
Obviously, I liked it. I liked it very much. I was very entertained. A little disappointed with some stuff, obviously, but you know what? You know, not everything's gonna be perfect.
Right.
Definitely loved the moments with Dustin and Eddie. You know, because I know Steve was at times to be getting a little jealous because he was getting another big brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. You know, some of the deaths were pretty gruesome, and it was
pretty badass.
It was cool to see. You know, definitely good, nice '80s vibe. You know, growing up in a family that loves the '80s, so it was pretty cool to see that. Excited to see what's gonna happen. You know, if they are gonna do a season 5 or not. We possibly got a potential view or teaser of what the big bad could actually be because everyone thinks it's Vecna.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Vecna ain't dead.
Speaking of '80s, I love how this season ended as in the same aspect as Empire Strikes Back. This is an Empire Strikes Back ending. Like there's not a happy ending. It's dread. Like we lost. We fucking lost.
Yeah, the town, like, it's half underground.
Yeah.
We fucking lost.
Like now they have to clean up the town.
Yes.
And then you wonder, like, why is Will feeling weird there?
Dude, yes. So I'm ready for Return of the Jedi.
You know, is fucking Max in a coma? Is she gonna come out of the coma? There's so
Dude,
many,
even
I'm
that
telling
too.
you,
Like
dude.
she's gonna have something wrong with her.
Dude.
She's gonna have something wrong with her.
Do we have time to talk about theories real quick?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I got a couple theories. Okay, first theory is she's gonna stay in a coma, but because she was half Vecna-ized or whatever you want to call it, she's gonna have some sort of abilities, and 11 is gonna be able to channel her through the mind thing where she gets into her mind, and she's gonna be able to help, but she's still gonna be in a coma.
Okay.
Second thing, she's gonna come out of her coma and she's gonna be a badass like 11, because she basically has a little Vecna inside of her.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what I think. So there's two theories with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Does Max
Maybe I
have-
might be right, might be wrong. I don't know.
Does Max have a little Vecna inside of her? No.
Oh, yeah.
Does she? No. Does she
Does
want
she
to?
want some? So there's that, and then the whole Eddie Munson thing. There's theories that, you know, since they tied the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing, that he's not truly dead.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I wished. I mean, I would hope that. I loved his character. I loved him. He was awesome. You killed him off in a very dramatic sense, even to the point where like Dustin had a scene with his uncle, a emotional scene. If you bring him back, all that is just null and void. You know, like it doesn't matter no more. So I just feel like if they bring him back, everything that they kind of like, all the emotional scenes, it doesn't matter no more.
But I don't think you're gonna know that he's back, because there is a folklore in the Dungeons and Dragons thing that there is a vampire character.
That's but I've been hearing too. Yeah.
And, he was obviously eaten and bitten by bats. And the supposed vampire character becomes Vecna's like right-hand man, his henchman.
Oh, shit.
And in the story of the Dungeons and Dragons lore, or whatever the fuck I read, he's the one that turns against Vecna and kills him.
Kills him.
Right. So
in
I
a
think
sense, Eddie
is still going to be alive, but he's only going to be alive in the Upside Down, I think, as this badass vampire henchman guy. Then the kids are going to go into the underground and be like, but Eddie, it's me. And then, they're going to get that dramatic scene of him remembering Metallica.
Yeah.
And he's going to turn against him and say, oh, yeah, fuck this guy. I'm stab him in the heart or something weird.
Shit, Aaron just stabbed me.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. But, so, there's that. I don't know. There's just a couple of other
If that
theories.
would happen, I could definitely see a Dust and Death, and that would be...
Oh, no, there's not, no.
Maybe, dude. Maybe. I think Will finally come out to Mike, and that'll be a whole nother story.
Let's just kill Mike. No one cares about Mike.
Yeah, he's kind of a
Fucking-
dick.
Fuck Mike.
He was really not a big factor in this last season.
This is-
Not really, dude. He was just kind of. He was
he's
the
like-
main character,
He's
but a
like,
background.
11,
character.
I love you. Oh, my God. Oh,
And then
fuck
that
off.
was it.
Fuck off.
And everyone's questioning like, why was he so mad at Mike? Why was there like tension there? But I think it's because Mike lied about how Eleven's life was. So there's that. I still want to know what happened to the girl with the broken nose.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that bitch.
Like, did she fall?
Now she got her fucking nose broken. People are like, that pissed me off. Okay, whatever.
All in all, I give this season about a 9 out of 10. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I'm
a
right
couple
there too.
of little elements that could have been a little different. Couple of not so rushed things, but overall, 9 out of 10 for me.
So, okay, let's shift a little bit. I mean, we're going to stick with, some of the 80s kind of vibes. Oh, my God, guys. Have you heard of Rob Zombie? Because Rob Zombie likes to take...
Who?
He likes to take properties, and he likes to ruin them, apparently. Recently, a trailer came out for Rob Zombie's The Munsters. He is... Monsters is a television show.
So The Munsters is a television show from the 60s.
Yeah.
Lasted about 2 seasons. It deals with a family that moved from Transylvania over to suburbia America. And, to them, their lives are just as normal as anybody else's, but everyone kind of sees them as monsters.
Of course.
You got Herman Munster, the Frankenstein
monster. Yeah.
Lily, the Dracula or Draculus. Her grandfather, who is Dracula. Their son, Eddie, who is Wolf. And then their normal niece, what was the niece's name? Everyone always forgets the niece.
She's not important. She's
We've
not
been
important.
drinking.
But the niece, which is as normal as anybody else. And, they lived in a haunted mansion.
Right.
And so now Rob Zombie's coming out with his own version. Marilyn was the niece's name.
Yeah.
Of his version of the Munsters.
Campy. Really campy. Like, ridiculous. Ridiculous. I never seen The Monsters. I'm going to, kind of step out a little bit. I never seen it, but, from what I hear from, whatever channels I watch, it's not far from what the original was, but it's just not happening. Not happening. So I'm going to let you guys take over. What did you guys think of Rob Zombie's The Monsters trailer?
Yeah, obviously it's just a trailer at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go first. I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. And I'm going to tell you why. I think what Rob Zombie does and what people don't realize what he does
Holy shit.
is that he takes the original and keeps it original, but in his own way. And what's happening is it's 2022 and people expect Star Wars. People expect this extravagant, CGI'd, crazy production movie, and he does a lot of practical effects. He does a lot of really old school techniques with his cinematography in his movies, his dialogue, and just the music and just everything about his movies they all really, really, really resemble exactly what he's going for. I think what he's doing with the Munsters is great, but I think it should have been black and white. And I think that's where a lot of people are losing their cool. Is there's full color, bright green, Eddie, the main Munster, and then the actor he got. You obviously you're not going to get the original actor. Don't even know if he's still alive, but if he is, he's like 80 or 90 years old if he's still alive. But I think he died, right? The dude.
Yeah, he's definitely
dead, right?
He's definitely dead.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. He was in. He was always in other. He was in other horror movies too. He's the one that.
Definitely dead.
Definitely dead? Okay,
Died in
cool.
1993.
Oh, dude, I was in high school when he died. Cool. Anyway.
Cool.
But if you're not familiar with the actor, the original Herman Munster, it's Fred Gwynn from Pet Sematary. He's is one of his well-knowns as well. And My Cousin Vinny, he was the judge.
Yeah, he was the judge, My Cousin Vinny. Yeah. But yeah, dude, so what I think he's doing with these movies, and a lot of people disagree with me, is I think he's doing a wonderful job of telling the original story in his own views. My problem is with the Munsters is the guy they got to play Eddie Munster is the voice is just a little too high pitched compared to the original actor's voice.
Herman Munster.
Herman. Did I say Eddie? Yeah. Sorry, that's not what I meant. But Herman Munster. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at you. But I think the voice should have been a little lower, a little more with an accent, a little more monstrous.
Monotone.
Yeah, a little more monotone. Because, I mean, he's...
Hey, guys.
Right, exactly. They should have at least played that. The actor they got to play the grandpa looks badass. And everyone's favorite thing to bitch about is the one thing that I always bitch about, too, is... He needs to really, really, really stop putting his wife as a main character in movies.
Yes.
She played one good role, and it was only in The Devil's Rejects. And that was it. Even as Baby in the other two movies, she's horrible in House of a Thousand Corpses and Three from Hell. I do not like her portrayal as that character.
And I'll push back a little bit. I didn't hate her in the first Halloween remake. I didn't hate her. The second one, terrible. The first one, I didn't hate her. I thought she was fine. And
maybe she'll prove herself a little more as the movie goes on, but to me, she doesn't come across very well. But, okay, it's like when you're watching his version of the Munsters, to me, it's like you're watching the movie, let's say like Ed Wood, like you're watching a movie about them making a movie. So it's like you get the shittiness of her acting.
It's kind of satire.
Right. Yes. It's almost like, all right, we're about to record. Act shitty. Yeah. Take one. Go.
Like,
and that's what we get from her and the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
That's the way
that's the vibe I got from it. It's like it's real like satire. Like even like the guy who plays, Herman Munster, he's like,
But that's the way he was on the show, dude. If you watch the show from the originals, I mean his facial expressions, his reactions, his voice, his everything.
I mean, even from if you see the credits of the Munsters, like he comes out of the staircase, gives his wife a kiss, and he's off. She hands him the suitcase off to work, and he's all just makes like a goofy as his face. It's like,
yeah, because I mean he's Frankenstein's monster. He doesn't know how to be human, but she's also treating him like a human. But here's your hat and your briefcase, off to work. And doesn't he like walk through the wall or the door just like he does in the trailer?
Yeah.
Like it's a common thing for him to fuck up because he's not fully developed. He's a monster with half a brain, basically.
You know what? I'm glad that you came with that take. I'm glad that you came with a take that like I'm for it.
I'm all for it, dude.
What'd you think about it?
Don't
hold back.
I'm a little bit opposite.
Don't hold back.
I'm a little bit opposite. One thing is, I do agree that maybe it should have been in black and white.
Oh, for sure.
However, I do love the colors. The colors in it are very good, very vibrant. Except when you see Herman Munster.
Ew, look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, especially when you see Herman Munster in a regular tone set. That's supposed to be like a normal vibe, and his full color green comes out. But like when you see him in like other spaces where he's playing in his band, or he's like chilling out like in like a dark cave or dark dungeon area, like the colors really do vibe with each other very well. the goofiness I like it a lot because it does resemble the show a lot. If you never watch the show is just goofy. It's just funny. It's supposed to be a sitcom funny about these monsters who consider themselves like they're just regular normal citizens,
Right.
regular normal people living, but they live in a suburban area where all these other people are just like, oh my god, they're weird or gross and disgusting and whatever, and they're just like, those people are weird.
Yeah, they're weird,
They're
man.
the
Look at those
weirdos.
normal people over there.
Yeah, so I kind of like that a lot. I do agree with y'all though. The acting from Sherry Zombie is just not there. It's just not there.
What are we doing? What are
Yeah,
we doing?
they could have picked any. She could have just played an outside character. She could have played another somebody,
Yeah.
a neighbor or something.
It's like,
you
bro.
know?
It's like, bro. You're already married.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know like one director that me and Eddie are also fans of, that he puts his wife in a lot of things too, but it's not always the main character, or really never even the main character, is Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith always puts his wife in a lot of movies.
He puts everybody he knows in every movie.
But like, she's never ever the main character. She's always just a side character,
character,
or whatever, or a supporting actor or whatever, supporting character. And he gets people to play those main characters
Right.
that he feels are gonna bring those characters out. Mm-hmm. I feel that's what needs to happen here with Rob Zombie. He needs to stop using his wife
As
and
a main
as a main character, and bring other people that could bring that character
Right.
to life maybe a lot better.
I mean, maybe one day her acting will get better, but who knows?
Okay,
Who knows when that'll be?
Okay, Aaron, you can stab me if I'm wrong, but what would you? Oh shit! What would you guys feel if like? Okay, only the way I see Sherry playing this character, what would you guys feel about someone like Margot Robbie playing that character? No.
No. I
don't
don't think of Margot Robbie. I'm thinking more of like a Christina Ricci.
Dude, I think Richie would have been a good choice.
Richie?
Richie
good.
would have been.
But I only
a
say that
hell of a
because we got her as Wednesday Addams and
Right.
the
Yeah.
two Addams
and
Family movies.
now she'd be playing an adult.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
no.
Yeah.
Or even there's the other one from Breaking Bad.
Isn't that Christina Ricci too?
No, it's not Christina Ricci. Shoot, what was her name?
Her name was Breaking Bad.
She also played Jessica Jones.
Yeah. God. Yeah. Was it?
Kristen Ritter.
Oh yeah, they look the same.
Totally not, but it's okay.
I can see a Kristen Ritter, playing that character as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is what it is. And this is actually what's going on with this one is it's not even fully based on the show itself. This is more like the beginning of when they met, kind of thing.
Right, yeah, it's way at the beginning when
Yeah.
the family doesn't even really like him kind
Yeah.
of situation, Yeah. Hey, but I wanted to talk about something that you mentioned earlier about the color. And it's something that I kind of touched on, but I didn't really elaborate on. You know how I was saying, like, it looks like a film about a film, about them filming it? And the reason I brought that up is because of the color. I think the colors are the way they are is because if you really look at old behind the scenes photos of the monsters,
They're like
obviously
vibrant.
they weren't painted black and white, fucking obvious.
Yeah, obvious.
But the colors that pop out in black and white are that neon green and that purplish face on Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what he's doing is taking, like I said, the behind the scenes and making a movie with those kind of colors, which is what I like that he does. He really reaches into the fucking of old shit and brings it out.
Like this is how it was back then.
This is how it was back then, and this is the way I'm going to film it. And people, of course, obviously younger people are like, oh my God, that's such a shitty color. And it's like, well, motherfucker, that's the colors they used back in the 60s,
Yeah.
Anyway, just wanted to touch on that when you mentioned that.
Pour it.
Hold on, man. Shit.
Well, we're going to do one here that you actually brought for us.
I did, because it's the most metal beer.
I gotta go pee though.
Oh, gee, which one of us is going to
Are
be now?
we all taking pee breaks?
Let's go ahead and take one real quick break.
Shit. Sorry.
We'll be right back.
We're a mess. All right, guys. Sorry about that. You know how it goes. You drink some beers, you break the seal.
Do we look different? We look less. We look skinnier now, right?
Do I look less stressed out?
I was holding it in the whole time.
Dude, I was. Dude, ever since we started that Rob Zombie conversation, I'm like, I gotta fucking piss. But here we are. We're back at it again. Let's fucking go. Dude, we're having a good time. And we're about to bust open a beer that Aaron brought. Dude, this...
I'll let you introduce that one real quick.
Beer metal, dude. He bought a fucking beer metal beer. Let's go for it.
All right, so this is Blacker. It's an Imperial Dark Ale from Real Ale Brewing Company out of Blanco, Texas.
Woo, baby.
I mean, look at that label, dude. Tell me that isn't sick as fuck.
Fucking
Tell me that's not the most metal label you've ever seen.
Hell.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me tell you a little bit about this beer. So, see the little three-headed demon there? So, the reason it's Blacker with the three-headed demon is because when it was originally brewed, the very first time, it was Real Ale, Three Floyds Brewing, and Surly Brewing Company. Oh. They each collaborated, right? So they all flew to Surly, brewed Blacker. They all went to Three Floyds, brewed Blacker. They all flew down here to Texas and brewed Blacker. So each brewery released their own version of it the very first year it came out.
So this is the Texas version?
After that first run, maybe I think they did one or two where it was like considered the collaboration beer.
Yeah.
They kind of just all spearheaded on their own. And so this is just the Real Ale version.
Oh, okay.
So this bottle I've been holding on to for a little while again, yes, because I do that a lot. This one's from 2020. Now, it is an Imperial Black Ale or a Black IPA. So I'm a little worried because it's 2 years old and obviously it's an IPA, but this beer, in my opinion, can be held on to a little while. It's a fantastic beer. It's one of my favorite beers, and it's one of the most metal fucking labels, dude. It's so awesome. When they released this beer the very first time, they had a show in Austin. They did it at the ABGB, and Eric, who is the brewer of over at Real Ale, he had a band called Canyon of the Skull, and Todd, who's the brewer at the time of Surly, had a band called Vulgari, and they performed here in Texas, at the release of the original Blacker. Todd is now head of brewing operations over at Three Floyds, so he actually left Surly and now at Three Floyds. And you want to talk thrash metal, dude? Look up Power Mad.
Power
Mad. Todd Hogg is the guitar player, and he's the head. He was the head brewer at Surly, and now, like I said, director of operations over at Three Floyds.
It's a dark boy. Dark boy.
Yeah. Hope it held up good, guys.
Yep. Cheers.
I wanted to bring something good from the beer fridge for us.
The cellar.
Yep.
Still smells good.
It still tastes good.
It's a little muted. It should be a little more, I guess, hoppy. I'm getting a lot of like a dark, almost raisin-like flavor that when drink fresh isn't so dominant, but it's still a fantastic beer.
Yeah, no, it does not taste bad at all. Like, it tastes really good. We still got more in this bottle. I'm going to pour some a little more.
Oh, I still got other bottles of this in my fridge, so
feel free to
drink more of it than me.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. You can't even see through it.
So what's good about it, man, is like, smack your lips after each sip, dude, and you get that roastiness. You almost get a little coffee, a little dark chocolate.
It tastes like some coffee or something.
And then, with the type of hops that are used in this one, it's not very citrusy or floral. It's more earthy. So this one's just really giving you all the darkness, all the flavors of dark that you want in a beer that's not a stout or a porter.
Oh, the Army of Darkness.
Goddamn right.
Oh,
that's probably like one of my favorite movies right there.
Dude,
love that.
Sam Raimi, dude. Sam Raimi, man. He did such a great job with Doctor Strange because it reminded me of a Marvel version of Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For
So good. It was so good. I know we won't get into that. Well, that'll be another hour-long conversation. Sam Raimi, man. Yeah. Army of Darkness ruled. Evil Dead. All the shit he does, you know?
Well, to close out our conversation, I mean, we were just talking about the monsters. Rob Zombie's the monsters.
Right, about that.
Obviously, Rob Zombie's been one of those guys who makes horror movies.
Correct.
Also makes remakes of horror movies.
Right.
A la Halloween 2. I personally, I like his first Halloween movie. I like it. I like it. The second one, I did not like
It was
at
weird.
all. But what do you guys feel about Rob Zombie's movies in general? His horror movies, there was Rejects. We got, we got a lot of them.
It's been a long time since I've seen his first movie, House of a Thousand Corpses. I remember that one. I was just at first I was kind of like, but then when I saw it, when I was a little bit more, getting into like movies and getting past like, oh, okay, you can't look at it one way. You gotta look at it other ways.
Right.
I was like, it's actually pretty good. This is what horror films used to be like.
Yeah, man. And I think people just look at his movies in a whole. They look at him wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why he gets so much of a bad rap. Because like House of a Thousand Corpses, dude, I fucking loved it. And it's because you follow this nasty ass family in this nasty ass house, and everything's just fucked up.
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre and everything like that, right? And then all of a sudden, it just jumps into like, oh, by the way, there's this fucking monster living under our ground named Dr. Satan who does experiments on people. It made no sense, but if you really watch a lot of, oh, what a dick. I'm just kidding, dude. I totally have. I guess I'm just kidding. I just wanted to call you a dick. If you watch a lot of old campy 80s horror, a lot of time the movie's like, what the fuck just happened? And that's what House of a Thousand Corpses did to you by introducing Dr. Satan. It's like, what? There's a creature with like monsters living under the ground? Okay, cool. And then you never hear about him again.
People under stairs.
Right. Oh yeah, great movie. And then you never hear about him in Devil's Rejects or nothing like that. It's like, oh cool, Dr. Satan's gone. Okay, bye.
Yeah, he was done.
And now they're normal again, and Devil's Rejects is just by far one of my favorite movies. By far, I will put that one in my top 10 movies of all time.
Wow, that's high praise. That's high praise.
That movie, the soundtrack, the way he puts the music to it, you can't hear Freebird without thinking of a fucking gunfight now. When you hear Leonard Skinner Freebird, you just think of them all bloodied and tired. They see the cops and they're just like, fuck, let's do it. And they just fucking go out blazing, dude. I love that scene. That scene is by far one of the most dramatic and awesome scenes in a movie, in my opinion. So, a grab bag of Rob Zombie movies, I would say 7 out of 10.
Okay, honestly, I'm refreshed to hear that because, yeah, you're right. People give Rob Zombie a bad rep. People are like saying like, oh, his Halloween movie was the worst thing ever. I'm like, it really wasn't.
That's when you edit arrows going ding 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 ding.
What? Like, it really wasn't. Like, it wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it gave a little more character to the fucking villain that we and then plus even like the one thing I always think about with Halloween was the scene with him and Danny Trejo, where he built up this relationship with this dude and he kills him. That kind of shows you this dude doesn't fucking care. He's gonna kill you to do what he wants to fucking do. And I thought that was, it was heartbreaking. It was frightening. It was amazing. Like people always give shit about the little kid. We're just doing this thing where we humanize the character. I'm like, he is. He is a human. And
They talked about him being human in the original movies.
And they did. Because the first movie was it opened up with him as a fucking kid.
Right.
So I'm glad to see that fleshed out even more. And to be honest, man, I don't know if you've seen them. I have not. I hate these new Halloween movies. I don't not like them. I don't like them. Especially the newest one, Halloween Kills.
Kills. Halloween Ends is coming out.
Halloween Kills was terrible. It was fucking probably one of the worst Halloween movies.
As much as I love
terrible
referenced 80s campy, I cringed so many times during this movie.
That movie was
The
fucking
chanting,
terrible.
the
Evil
whole group.
dies tonight.
Yes, yeah, I wanted to like burn that building down with all
It,
those
it
people.
was terrible. It was fucking. It pissed me off. It pissed me the fuck off. I was so fucking mad about it.
Especially what's his name, Michael Hall.
Yeah,
Ugh.
his character.
One thing I will say that I do love about Rob Zombie's movies, and this is what I also love about Quentin Tarantino's movies, dialogue.
Yes.
He has some really good
Yes,
writing.
dude. Yes.
You know,
Totally agree with you, man.
love it. I just love it. It's just like some of the stuff comes out cheesy, but it works.
I mean,
it works so good, and it's
Tutti
just,
fucking fruity, bro.
yeah.
You know, like you'll never not say that. You know what I mean? Like there's lines from his movies that you're gonna repeat to the day you die
Yeah.
because they're just classic lines, just like Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct on that. Man, that would be a great collaboration. Can you imagine? Tarantino zombie movie
Yo, that'd be cool. With Rob Zombie producing or some shit.
and Sherry Moon Zombie dying in like the first scene.
Yeah. Let's get her out here. What are we doing? Like, come on now. But dude, I think honestly we touched on a lot of stuff that like
Yeah, man.
I'm glad to get your insight on.
Yeah, dude. Thanks, man, for having me on here. It was
Not only
fun.
that, but I think our beer conversation in the beginning was probably one of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best. I mean,
Thank you,
it's,
man.
it's good to have your insight. I mean, like I said, we brewed our own beer, but I know we're not really knowledgeable. Like as you said, like on the notes, on the
Right.
on the appearance. You know, like I know we love to admire this stuff and that, but like we don't know what the fuck we're talking
I'm not
about.
a trained cicerone, dude. I didn't take the test, dude. I'm a amateur expert, if that's what you want to call it.
And if you're amateur, we're like right below you. We're right below you, my bro. But man, Aaron, it was.
Hold on, that's what I was
Okay,
gonna say
go
real
for
quick,
it,
because
go
like
for it,
I
go for
said dialogue, but also character names. Like in Halloween, Big Joe Grizzly.
Big Joe
Big
Grizzly.
Joe
Oh
Grizzly.
yeah, I'm Big Joe Grizzly, bitch. that was fucking cool. I love how he got his costume because I'm Big Joe Grizzly, bitch. Fucking, he's all. I just had myself a bean burrito. And I'm like,
But see, that's what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
dialogue
saying.
goes back to the character, the name, the dialogue. He knows how to write a funny character.
that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. But yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I'm glad to finally have on to the show. Hopefully, we can get you back on. We'll talk some, fucking more metal music, some fucking horror
man.
movies. It's been good. It's been good, man.
I've had a good time, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully next. We would like to get you on sooner, but like maybe next time we can get you back during the Halloween season and definitely talk some horror stuff.
Halloween
Yeah.
episode. Let's do it.
Yeah, maybe next time there won't be like a million excuses in between.
Yeah.
Fucking COVID. But yeah, guys, I mean, I think we're about to wrap it up today. Thank you guys so much for checking out the episode. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Don't fucking worry about Twitter.
Pornhub.
Yeah. That Twitter shit. Don't
That's for after hours.
yeah. Don't worry about that shit.
Pow-wow.
But follow the Beer Metal Show podcast on Instagram. Follow fucking the Beer Metal Photography.
Check out the episodes on Spotify.
Spotify.
What's your website?
Beermetal.net.
Beermetal.net. Guys, we're gonna have all these links down below in the description. I'm so drunk.
Prepare to get your ears spanked.
Guys, check it out, man. It's support local. We always support. We always say that we're local. We're here. We're here to stay. We're gonna keep doing this shit for you guys, whether you listen to not. Dos Llanos, we got the Hera Double Dry Hop IPA.
Which we didn't really talk about. We just drank it.
It was delicious. It was amazing. But even better was the Hibiscus Whit from Dos Llanos. Amazing. And we got the Razzmatazz.
Yeah, come see me at the brewery. I'm the manager there. I'm always there, hanging around.
Yeah. Hey, just go to the bar. Hey, Aaron, what's up? Going on? Boom, 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 boom. And it's awesome. Dude, Dos Llanos is an amazing spot.
He's the
They
guy
have
with the luscious beard.
Yeah, some of the best food I've ever eaten in my life. It's really good. And, that's about it, man.
Do they still make this one?
They might be. I know things have changed over at Real Well, and I know once a year they do.
Well, if you see it out in the shelves, check out the Blacker Imperial.
Black.
Lager Imperial Black Ale from Real Ale Brewing.
And if you don't, then fuck you. It was good.
And if not, just check out any beer from Real Ale Brewing.
Real is pretty good.
We've had some beers from them on the show. They fucking delish.
Where did that come from?
Oh yeah, I drank one of those. All right, guys. Well, this is episode 70 of Geeking and Drinking. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a really good, awesome time.
Yeah, man, I had a great time, dude. It was fun talking about all the stuff we talked about.
Yeah. And guys, come on. Let's do it. Support Aaron. Support us. Let's fucking go. Geeking and Drinking episode 70. Cheers. Boom.
I don't have a
Boom. You don't have a glass?
I don't have a beer. I'm out of beer.
We'll see you guys later. Peace out.